Oh, what a doubt! We spoke about doubt. Doubt. Doubt didn't exist in the beginning of the creation. It came to exist in people's lives eventually, because there was only conviction, certainty. Why? Because mankind only knew the good. They didn't know the evil, but because of a conversation, a suggestion, in which the devil, the serpent, evil, spoke to the woman, he suggested that she disobey God. So both she and her husband would become aware of good and evil. Then she chose to know the evil too. Then, man and woman who only knew the good became aware of the good and evil. And since then, good and evil are within us. Yes, both options are in us. That's where the doubt comes in. Because up until that moment, there was no doubt in mankind. But when they disobeyed God and they opened the door for their lives, a second option entered, the doubt. The opposite of good, the evil entered them. And this is within us. For example, this morning, when I woke up, this is a day for me to take care of my body under medical prescriptions. And under medical prescriptions, I need to do exercise to strengthen myself due to a pain that I've developed on my shoulders. I needed to strengthen both my shoulders by doing exercises. And I only can do that in the morning, waking up earlier to exercise. Now, ask if my body wants to wake up in a cold morning. My body or anybody wants to leave the blanket. So everybody's aware of this situation. The alarm goes off and you have that double sensation. It's so cozy. I still can sleep for at least 1 more hour. It's so cozy here. If I sleep just a little more, and if I don't do exercise today, just today, if I just skip it and don't do it today, nothing will happen. This voice speaks to us. And there's another voice that says, you know what you must do. You have to do that. It will be good for you, for your body. You will avoid future problems. Come out of this bed right now. Those two voices speak in our head. Am I right? For you to do physical exercise, to go to work, when the husband or wife tells you a harsh word, and then in the moment your blood boils, and a voice tells you, say what they deserve. Tell them what they should hear. Put them in their place. There's a voice that tells you that, and there's another voice that tells you, take a deep breath, calm down. This won't end well. If you open your mouth now, it won't end well. Am I right? In other words, within us there is good and evil. Paul spoke about it there in the book of Romans. If you want to read later, he says, for the good that I will to do, I do not do, but the evil I will not to do, that I practice. Which means evil is in us. Doubt comes from this evil side. What is doubt? Is that thought. What if it goes wrong? What if it happens just as the doctor said, or even worse? What if it doesn't happen? What if it happens? This thought of the worst happening is within us. This is a consequence, inheritance of sin, disobedience to God. So, what should we do to overcome this problem, to overcome doubts? You may ask, what should I do to overcome doubt? I'm filled with doubt. I'm always in the doubt. If I should fight, if I should not fight, if I go on, or if I don't. What should I do to overcome my doubts? Well, dear friends, let's return to the Garden of Eden. Let's return to the Garden of Eden when there was only one choice, the choice for good. If you want to overcome doubt, what should you do? You have to eliminate the evil option, the word of evil from your mind, from your head. It is impossible you not to listen the voice of evil, because even before Eve falling, she already heard the voice of evil. You always hear the voice of doubt. You always hear the voice of evil, the voice that tells you, don't do it, and etc. You can hear this voice, but you can choose not to obey it, not to make a big deal out of this evil voice, but to do the opposite, to obey the voice of God, to look at what is good, to believe in the best. Jesus taught this in practice when a man came to him looking for help for his daughter who was sick at home. But between the time that the man came to Jesus, leaving his daughter at home, to bring Jesus to the house, and before Jesus arriving there, the daughter died, and the friends of this man called Jairus came after him, telling him, it's too late, it's too late. Your daughter died. You no longer need to bother Jesus. At that moment, the man was between the hope, on one side, Jesus representing life, and death on the other side. The friends with the news, your daughter died. Jesus immediately, before the man falling on his knees in desperation, he came to the man and looked at him. Do not be afraid, only believe. Do not be afraid, only believe. The do not be afraid meant, do not be afraid of the news. The word maybe received the news that you are afraid. You're still afraid. Perhaps you ended up in the hospital. I met someone who with one news on their mobile phone, they ended up in the hospital. The news came to her mobile phone with some bad news. She ended up in the hospital with one word. Jesus said, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of the bad news. Do not be afraid of this word of death, as much as it seems to be the truth. Do not be afraid. In other words, resist this option from evil. And Jesus went on saying, only believe. Only believe. Which means, look at me. Look at the word I gave you. Haven't I told you that I will go to your house to heal your daughter? Only believe. So Jairus had a choice to make. Either he could say, Jesus, I thank you, but it's too late. Don't worry. I will go back and take care of the funeral, the burial, help my wife. He could have told Jesus that with some resentment, because Jesus took a long time. If you see the story, Jesus took some time. He spoke to people along the way, so he could become resentful and tell Jesus, thank you. Thank you for nothing. And turned his back and left with grudges against God, against Jesus. But he could have done what he did. He ignored the friends, the bad news. He remained believing in Jesus, following him until the miracle happened. That is how we overcome doubt, dear friends. You will never be able to fully quiet the voice of doubt in your head. Doubt will always come because it runs in our veins, in our blood. Again, with the sponsorship from Adam and Eve. It's there, in our veins. But you can ignore this voice, to not be afraid of this voice, and to choose to listen to the voice of God. And that is why you must become stronger by reading the Word. You need to read the Word of God, to put the Word of God before your eyes every morning, to meditate on the words of Jesus day and night. As the Word of God guides us, you need to go to church to hear the Word. And when the Word is part of your life, when it's coursing through your body, there will be little space for doubt. This is how you overcome doubts. To strengthen yourself in the Word of God, believe only in the Word of God, and to not be afraid of the word of evil, the word of doubt. You can do this. This is in you. This is a matter of decision. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.